Good morning, everyone. It's October 8th, 2019. I'm Eric. In this video, we're going to talk about your freedom and what freedom looks like here in Police State, America. This one comes from the Free Thought Project along with the next few. A stop for window tent turned into a roadside anal cavity search by police officers, and now the taxpayers will be held liable. Why isn't it when these individuals do some egregious shit like this, the taxpayers are held liable and not the criminal? In this case, the criminal cop. And so this happened in Tennessee. And this comes from Matt Argus, by the way. This happened in Hamilton County, Tennessee. What started out as a fishing expedition disguised as a window tint stop ended up with two Hamilton County deputies placed on leave for strip searching and sodomizing a man suspected of possessing an illegal substance. And I know, you cop lovers will say anything to justify these actions, but there is no justification. In fact, I would argue that there's little justification for the use of police in the first place. So, after the cops enjoyed a month-long paid vacation, the taxpayers are going to be held liable for their actions. Isn't it funny how when you commit some sort of wrong against the state, they always say, you have to be held accountable. You have to face the consequences. But when you're a state agent of violence, rape, and murder, well, you do not have to be held liable and face the consequences for your actions. The victim in the incident, James Myron Mitchell, has filed a suit against the deputies, claiming the stop was for false allegations of a window tint violation, which led to his horrifying treatment and at the hands of two public servants. Okay. As the Free Thought Project reported in July, deputies Daniel Wilkie and Bobby Brewer stopped Letitia Menifee, driver, and Mitchell, a passenger, as they were driving in a Buick. As the stop began, Menifee was immediately handcuffed and brought to the rear of the vehicle. Mitchell was likewise handcuffed and brought to the front of the police cruiser, and his following mistreatment was captured on dash cam footage. So, this man, passenger in a car, this individual, let me see here, this guy, right here, passenger in a car that was pulled over for a window tint stop, ends up being raped, basically, by the two officers. That's freedom in the land of the free. You are free to be pulled over because your windows are too dark and raped roadside by the cops. Yep. But there's more. Lots more. A New Jersey cop pled guilty this week to pulling over innocent people to rob them of their cash as well as beating them. And as you just heard, this was going on in New Jersey. Yeah, and this is the actual headline. And again, this is by Matt Argus. Cop admits to conspiring with fellow officers to pull over innocent people to rob and beat them. And this happened, this is happening in Paterson, New Jersey. Just because one of these cops got busted doing this doesn't mean the rest of the department is going to get busted doing this. You know, occasionally one of these guys got to be thrown under the bus so that the rest of them can get away with what they're doing. Frequent readers of the Free Thought Project already know that much of a police officer's job consists of stopping people for victimless crimes and extorting or kidnapping them for it. From window tint and seatbelt violations to jaywalking, police officers across the country have shown that they will detain, extort, beat, and kill people over these crimes. And by the way, these so-called crimes have no victims. How is it a crime if there's no victims? I wonder. The entire process is not only approved by the government, but is a necessary for the survival and growth of departments and cities across the country. Yes, your tax dollars aren't enough to keep these criminal agencies, these criminal empires going. No, they have to extort you as well. That should give you an idea as to the condition of the economy. And by the way, most of the pensions these criminals are invested in, they're underwater. I wonder how they're going to react when, they finally wise up and understand that the money they've been setting back for their retirement isn't even there. Wonder. As the following case illustrates, however, when police officers fail to get their superiors' approval before robbing people during traffic stops, they will be prosecuted. Paterson police officer Daniel Pent was charged in an FBI probe of his department after he was caught stealing cash and property from innocent people. Pent would make up fake reasons to stop people and then illegally search their vehicles or persons to rob them. And this kind of thing isn't only isolated to Paterson, New Jersey. This happens across the nation. That and rape by cavity search, among other things, and which we'll be seeing here in a moment. And it's okay if it's them, right? This week, the thug cop admitted to his crimes and pled guilty to being part of a conspiracy in which several officers illegally stopped residents, both in their vehicle and on the street, and stole money and other items from them. He also regularly used unreasonable and excessive force, authorities said, according to NewJersey.com. On Tuesday, Pent pled guilty in federal court to conspiracy to violate individuals' civil rights, using unreasonable and excessive force in violation of individuals' civil rights, and filing a false police report. After his plea, his attorney referred to him as a hero before blaming his crimes on the culture of the department. In quotes, "It's sad. He was a good cop, a hero cop," said attorney Michael Calabro. He fell harder than most because he was a good cop. Now let me stop there. This cop straight up admitted to committing these crimes, and yet this asshole attorney will call him a good cop and a hero. And that's the unfortunate mindset of most Americans. They will say with a straight face that these people are heroes, even though they are pulling people over and sodomizing them, even though they're pulling people over and robbing them, even though they're filing false charges against many, many individuals in this country and ruining their lives. But let's continue here. Despite overwhelming video and photo evidence against him and telling his victim not to testify, a NYPD detective was acquitted this month for child rape. I mean, only in America will, well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Police all over the world get away with this shit. But, if there was a jury in this case, they should all be put in prison right next to him. This also comes from Matt Argist, and this happened in New York City. Flexing his mighty blue privilege granted to him by his badge, a former New York NYPD cop was acquitted on felony child rape and sex abuse charges this month, despite filming the interactions with the 15-year-old victim himself. Instead of going to jail for years, like he should have, this cop will likely escape any actual accountability. The ex-NYPD officer Raul Almeida was accused of recording his sexual encounters with the 15-year-old girl on at least 5 occasions. So, not only are they raping men on the side of the road, they're also using their badges to rape teenage girls and to make them keep quiet. There's more. This is your freedom. This is your freedom. Family called animal control to remove a chicken from their yard, but a police officer showed up instead. And this is the actual headline, again from Matt Argist. Family shocked after watching cop beat a chicken to death with his baton and boots. And this happened in Ottumwa, Iowa. A family's call to have a chicken removed from their yard ended in a show of horror this week after a Ottumwa police officer showed up instead of animal control. Instead of simply grabbing the chicken or moving it out of their yard, this cop beat the chicken with his baton and stomped on it with his boot. I know that this is not a horrible thing against another human being, but it does show to their conduct that they automatically use violence in most situations. So, your freedom in America consists of cops coming and killing chickens in your yard in front of your family, killing your dog, sometimes killing you. Your freedom consists of being anally raped on the roadside, right? Your freedom consists of your teenage daughter being raped by these individuals. And people are going to say, with a straight face, that these people are heroes, and they are no such thing. They are no such thing. They are scum of the earth, and they should be locked up forever. Anyway, I have one more for you, and then we'll be good. I'm just going to hit the headline here. FBI data shows 5 times more people killed by knives than rifles last year. And of course, this is not going to stop the likes of Beta or Beto or Ocasio-Cortez or Elizabeth Warren or Donald Trump or any of the rest of the scumbag politicians out there from trying to infringe on your rights to defend yourself with a firearm. On September 30th, the FBI issued a press release noting they have published their 2018 crime statistics. Most notable about the report is the fact that despite constant fear-mongering by the mainstream media and the government that crime is running rampant, the number of violent crimes decreased 3.3% as compared to the previous year. Also contained in the report were the numbers and causes of deaths in murder cases. Although the FBI did not make the comparison, the report, I missed my line here. Although the FBI did not make the comparison themselves, when reading the data, we can see the number of murders carried out with knives or cutting devices was 5 times higher than the number of murders carried out by or with rifles. This comparison is particularly important given the current gun climate in America. And it doesn't matter what the statistics are, these lying sacks of shit politicians will leave out these facts. They will leave out the fact that many, many more people a year are saved by the gun than murdered by it. They will continue to enact red flag legislation so they can steal your weapons. Do you see any militias coming to the rescue of the individuals victimized by these red flag laws? And by the way, shall not be infringed should apply across the board. It shouldn't just apply to the so-called law-abiding. Shall not be infringed means everyone. Anyway, I thought I would share these stories of your freedom with you so that you know where you stand in your society. To summarize, you are free to be sodomized. You are free to be held accountable for the actions of the state. You are free to have your daughter raped by people who are supposed to protect and serve. You are free to have your life stolen from you by one of these people in the form of false charges. Anyway, I hope all of you have a great day, and until next time, kill the state and live free.